Hi, Liz. Thank you so much for agreeing to reflect on your journey with me. Please tell people about a bit about you and who you are as a coach.
Yeah, so I am an executive coach who focuses on supporting functional experts who get promoted into leadership roles to enhance and grow their leadership skills. And before I started working with you, I didn't actually have that niche or that focus. I had sort of just said, oh, well, I'm a coach. I can coach anyone. That's no problem. And that wasn't really helping me get any clients. So, in working with you, I really was able to refine a focus area in terms of the type of client that I wanted and who I could support. And so now that's what I'm doing.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm always impressed when I ask people that on these calls and that they say it so succinctly because, like you say, it's a long journey to get to the place where we can nail our niche in like 5 words.
Exactly.
So tell me about your frustrations prior to joining the program.
It really was that I had no idea how I was supposed to get a client because as we said, I didn't have a focus area. So I was like, oh, well, I know how to coach, and shouldn't everybody know that I know how to do this and I can be good at it? And, wouldn't they all want to work with me? I don't get it. And so I had my accreditations and all this stuff, and I thought it would be easier to just have people be like, oh, I saw something you said on LinkedIn. I want to work with you and I'll pay you all this money. And it just, nothing was happening. There's nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And so what kind of frameworks and things did you use in the program that helped?
So the baseline thing, as we were saying a minute ago, really around creating a niche in and of itself was essential because that helped me build anything else that I wanted to build because I knew who I was focusing on and who I wanted to target. And that helped me create the signature program that I have developed around in the executive coaching structure that I use and sort of create sort of a name and a structure around that and just a process flow that I use for coaching and kind of creating more of a formal naming structure and idea around that. I created a webinar around leadership that would help you from expert to leader kind of a thing. Just knowing who I was focusing on helped me create all of these other elements.
Yeah, totally. And you've got your benchmarking guide as well, is really nice.
Correct. My benchmarking guide for new leaders, which I created using your guidance around 6 to 7 key elements that any new leader or any leader really at any stage, but it's really a benchmark for what are the sort of the table stakes skills that you need as a leader.
Yeah, exactly. What did you enjoy in the program particularly?
I enjoyed the group calls a lot. I think having the community and the connection and seeing the consistent faces week over week, it was always a community and there was always a sense of, everyone was maybe at a slightly different stage or moment or different focus. There are coaches who do all different types of things. Maybe I assumed everyone's an executive coach, and they're absolutely not that. There's so many different types of coaches, and that in itself was kind of just interesting and eye-opening. But certainly having that sense of community, which we used a Facebook group and becoming LinkedIn connections with all of these people, having, the opportunity to see what they're doing, all of that has really been helpful in addition to just having one-on-one support with you and obviously just being able to email or ask questions and that kind of thing whenever, but having that and having the portal with the different modules and obviously going through all the modules. And I joked with you recently that I have a 2-inch thick folder with all the printouts and everything that I used from the portal, but I have gone into the portal so many times to be like, oh yeah, there was something on X, Y, and Z topic. I'm going to go in and get it, and I would find it. So it's just an incredibly useful set of tools and information that we have at our disposal.
Yeah, amazing. I added a new module this morning, actually. I'll have to tell you about 5-star client experience, module 13. So it's like onboarding, offboarding, retaining clients, case studies. So I forgot to tell you
Ooh,
that,
I'll
but
have to
that's
go
a
back on the portal
new one
now.
created today, fresh off the block. Um,
Yay.
so what would you say was the outcome or result for you from being part of the program?
It was having more confidence in what I offer as a coach and knowing how to communicate that. So even just in having networking conversations that I've had with people where they're like, so what do you do? Or like, who do you coach? It's like, oh, well, I coach functional experts who become leaders, da 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 da,
Yeah.
going and telling them my thing. And so it's just given me this focus and the sense of knowing like what I do. There was so much about how you want to communicate your message, what is important to say in terms of what somebody gets out of the offering. And we talked about in your program, like front door, back door, you want to go to the front door with what's actually bothering them, not the back door or
Mm.
the bleeding neck or whatever analogy we choose from, those were the two top that I
Yeah.
remember, but just having some of those kind of ideas in mind, it's like, oh, well, that LinkedIn post would be kind of a waste because it wouldn't, if I were to put something out there, it's not really getting it in the front door, it's to back door. So that kind of language is very helpful.
Amazing. And tell me more about your coaching. What clients are you working with or will you be working with?
So I have been working with several different types of leaders. I do, as we said, focus on supporting functional experts who have now taken on leadership roles. And so the clients that I've been working with, one person was tasked with a really upskilled role of running a large recruiting function. So she was very strong at recruiting, but then
Mm.
she had to lead a really significant group and function and had a lot of challenges there. So I just finished a 6-month coaching engagement with her. I'm starting now with coaching an individual who is a digital media expert,
Mm.
and she has now a really large role at an agency running digital and just has huge responsibilities and a lot that she's trying to balance with that.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm going to be coaching some other functional experts at a former firm that I had worked at where they have varying levels of expertise, but are struggling with some of the sort of people skills and management skills. So I'm getting a lot of different work in those types of areas, which is great.
Exactly. And what would you say your experience of working together was like?
Well, it was great because I just felt very supported and I felt like it made me feel like I wasn't alone. You know, I still am alone here in my home office, but
Yeah.
knowing that I had this community of people and I had you, it was, it just made me feel less isolated
Mm.
and more like, okay, I'm not struggling through this alone. And I have people who can, hold my hand and kind of, help me and give me advice or make me feel reassured about something. So all of that was very, very helpful.
But what would you say was your biggest takeaway from the program?
I would say the biggest takeaway from the program is just the way that you market yourself is everything. If you aren't clear about who your audience is and what you can do for that audience and the bleeding neck issue that you can, put the bandage on for them or, knowing like I can do this to solve that problem.
Mm.
That wasn't really how my brain operated before. Not that it doesn't make logical sense, but
Yeah.
it wasn't, something that I had been sort of taught or trained or whatever to think about. And so now that I have that mindset, it's
Mm.
just so everything's so different.
Yeah, it's so true. You've articulated that like better than I've ever heard anybody say it before, of that mindset shift to problem solution. Yeah, amazing.
Mhm.
And what's next for you, Liz? What would you love to be doing in, say, 6 to 12 months' time?
I mean, I am hoping some of my clients might boomerang back to me
Yeah.
who are going to be, continuing to shift in some of their roles. And even though some of their engagements are over, they have indicated wanting to come back. So I'll have some of that and some referrals through the clients that I'm continuing to work with, and just continuing by putting myself out there in many different facets and making people aware of what I do and what problems I can solve for them to continue to gain a consistent flow of clients.
Yeah, totally. And who would you recommend the program to?
I would recommend the program to anyone who is a coach of any kind, because, as I said, this program caters to coaches of all different focus areas who maybe are a little bit lost in terms of they don't know how to focus their marketing. They don't know, maybe they don't even know who they're targeting at all, and they're not
Mm.
getting clients, and they need to somehow figure out how to hone in and determine who they can help, whose bleeding neck they can bandage, and not to be gory. And by going through this program, they'll absolutely come out the other side knowing, how to focus and how to start getting some clients.
Fab. And last question, what should others know about working with me?
That you are kind and warm and approachable and extremely committed to what you do. You would probably stay up all night doing this if you didn't have anything else going on in your life to
I
distract
know
you.
I do, even though I do have other things going on in my
Yeah,
life.
you do have a lot of other things, but I feel like you would probably stay up all night because you just care about this so much, and you genuinely want to help your clients just thrive, and it's extremely clear to us how much you care.
Oh gosh, I feel like I'm going to cry now. Goodness me, I better stop hitting record. Thank you so much, Liz. That means so, so much to me. And I love
Oh,
working with you. And obviously, we'll keep in touch. I feel like it's a big goodbye, but it's not a big goodbye.
good to see you later.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. See you later. Thank you so much, Liz.
Thank you.